So today we are moving on to central angles and arc measures. Central angle is an angle with its vertex at the center of a circle. And its two sides are radii. This is plural for radius. And the sum of all the central angles in a circle is 360 degrees. An example of a central angle in this picture is angle ABC. So it has an arc right here, and it's centered at the center of the circle, and both radius are the sides. So the next thing we have is the degree of the arc formed by the endpoints. So this part right here is the same as the degree of the central angle. So then I have two arcs. I have the measure of AC. So this one is called a minor arc. This means small. So I want the smallest arc between A and C, which is the one I've highlighted in yellow. This is going to be the angle degree, which is 84. Then I have my other arc, which is a major arc, and it's going to be the other way around. I can tell it's a major arc because it's got that third letter. So the way I figure this out is I know there's 360 total degrees in a circle. So I want to subtract 84 because I know this yellow part has already been used. So what is 360 minus 84? $276. So that is how much this major arc is. Okay. Questions on the definition part of this? So on number 1, it wants me to find each angle and arc measure. So the first one it wants me to find is the measure of JK. JK is the one given to me, so this one is just 21. Then the next one wants me to find the measure of angle JNM. So this angle right here. So what I can do is notice MK is a straight line and MNJ is part of that and JK is the other part. So if I give this a variable of x, I can do x plus 21 equals 180. And then to find my value of x, I would subtract 21 from both sides. Which gets me, what is 180 minus 21? 159. The next one wants me to find the measure of arc KL. So any ideas on how I can find the measure of arc KL? As J what? As JL? J and M? Yeah. Because these are vertical angles, they're congruent. So this is also 159. And then I have JKM. I'm going to highlight on the inside. So it's that whole piece. Any ideas on what this one is? So KM is a straight line, right? So that's 180 degrees, plus this little piece that's JK is 21. So for this one, I am going to do 180 plus 21, because I'm adding those two arc measures together. So 180 plus 21 gets me 201. So that's the measure of this arc. Then finally I have measure of MKL. So MKL is this whole angle. So what I want to do here is, it's everything but this little piece. What is the angle measure of this little piece? 21, because of vertical angles again. So what I can do to find MKL is I can do 180, no, not 180, 360, because that's how much is in a circle, minus the 21. So how much does that get me? 339. Questions on this one? Okay.
Good morning, word. Sorry for the little.
Okay. So moving on to number 2. The first thing it wants me to find is the measure of UXV. So this angle right here. Any ideas? Not 87. So like if I ignore the circle for a bit, you can see that SV and WU are crossing and they make vertical angles. So this angle that I've just drawn is congruent to this angle right here. Do I know the measure of this angle? You sure? Yeah, it's the 72 out there, because remember, central angles are the same. So then UXV is also going to be 72. Then I have ST, which is this angle right here. It corresponds to that one. It's asking for the arc length, so this piece right here. Any ideas on how I can find that? Close. So I'm going to make it an X, and I'm going to add it to 87, but I'm also going to add it to 72 because it makes a straight line for WU. So I have 72 plus X plus 87 equals 180. So what is 72 plus 87? 159. Then I want to go ahead and subtract 159 from both sides. Which gets me 21. So the next arc it wants me to find is WV. Which is going to be this one right here. Ideas on that one? Huh? Not 87, because it's vertical angles with the whole thing of SXV, or SXU. So that X part was also included there. So I could add the X and the 87 together. Remember, X was really 21. Or another way I can do this is SV is a line, and I know the angle measure of SXW, so I could subtract 72 from 180 to find this value. Both ways will work. I'll add these two and make my vertical angle. So I have 21 plus 87. Which is what? 108. Okay, next I have, it wants the arc length of TW. So ideas on that one? 21 plus 72. which will get me 93. And the last arc it wants me to find is TVW. So this one right here. So what do you guys want me to do to find this value? There's two different things I can do here. So one of them is to add up all of the angles that I've covered in purple. The other is to add the 2 in blue and subtract from 360. We've already added the 2 in blue in the previous problem, so I could just subtract that number from 360. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take the 360 and subtract the 93. So what do I get when I subtract? 267. Questions on number 2? So number 3 wants me to start off by saying the arc length of CD. What is the measure here? 90. I can tell this because of the square. Remember that square always means 90 degrees. Then the next one it wants me to find is FD. So I want the shortest distance from F to D. Any ideas on how I can find that? Not minus. Yeah, plus. So this one is also going to be 90 because it made a straight line. So I can do 34 plus 90. Okay. So 34 plus 90 is 124. The next arc it wants me to find is DCF. So I want to highlight DCF. So how do you guys want me to find DCF? Any ideas here? Okay, I can do 360 minus 124. I could have also added this 90. This will be a 90, and then I would have to subtract to figure out this one. So the 360 minus the 124 is less work. So 360 minus 124 gets me 236. Okay, so the last one is GDF. So everything right here. Ideas on how to do this one? So I know this is 34. I know that this is 90. This is 90. This one is also going to be 90. So I can add those four numbers together. I have 34 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90. So what do I get here? So number 4, I have, it wants me to say PQR. No, just PQ. So ideas on this one? Not 90 because this line is going through it. But notice it has QUR is vertical angles with TUS. So I know that this little piece is 19. And then the next one it wants me to find is SR. So from here to here. Any ideas on how to find this one? Not quite. So remember, SQ is a straight line, so I can use that as 180. And then all I want taken away from my straight line is this 19. So I'm just going to do 180 minus 19. $161. Then I have QRT. Add it to what? Okay, I could add 19, 19, and 161. What does that get me? 199. I could have also done, since QS is a straight line, I could have done 180 plus 19 here. Next one I have is PSR. So ideas on what to do here. Okay, 360 minus 90, because I'm doing everything except for this arc PR. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then there's one more, PS. So I am out of highlighter colors. I have this golden Sharpie. So PS is this one. So what would I want to add on this? So if PUR is 90 degrees, then this is also 90 degrees because it makes a straight line. So I have the 90 from PUT, and then I have the 19 from TUS. So I'm going to add 90 and 19. $109. Questions there? Okay. So numbers, I think 5 through the end, want me to solve for x. On number 5, I have these two angles, RVS and SVT. I know their measure, and I know that together they make a straight line. So what I can do is I can add those two values together and set it equal to 180. So I have 15x minus 26 plus 26 equals 180. Okay. Then I want to combine like terms on my left side. So negative 26 plus 26 cancels out, and I just have the 15x. Then I want to go ahead and divide out my 15 on both sides. What was that? 12. So my answer here is 12. Okay, then on number 6, I have a lot of stuff going on here. I know the arc length of DE, the arc length of DH, and the arc length of GF. I don't know GH and EF, so I can't use 360. But if I take a closer look, the lines EG and HF are straight lines, and they're crossing each other. So they make a pair of vertical angles. So I have that this angle is going to be congruent to this angle. So what I can do on my left side of the equation, I can add up the two from HD and DE and set that equal to 103. Then I want to combine like terms. So I still have my 18x, but now I have negative 2 plus 15, which is going to give me 13. And it still equals 103. Then I want to get all of my numbers over to the same side. So I'm going to subtract 13 from both sides. What is 103 minus 13? 90. Then I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 18. And I get x equals 5. Questions on number 6? So number 7 wants me to find the value of x, and then once I find it, find the value of different arc lengths. So if I take a look, again I have two straight lines crossing each other. So that gives me a pair of vertical angles. Because they're vertical angles, I can set them equal to each other because they're congruent. So I'm going to have 8x plus 12 equals 10x minus 22. So I want to get all of my variables over to the same side. I'm going to subtract 8x on both sides, which gets me 12 on the left. On the right, 10 minus 8 gives me 2x, and then I still have that minus 22 at the end. Then I want to go ahead and move that 22 over to the other side. So I'm going to add 22 to both sides. So I get 34 equals 2x. Then I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 2. Which gets me, what? 17. Okay, then I want to find the measure of AD. So I have the expression 8x plus 12, and I know that x equals 17, so I'm going to plug in 17 to find the measure of that angle. What is 8 times 17? 136. And then I have 136 plus 12. 148. Then it wants me to find the measure of CD, which is right here. That makes a straight line with AD, which we just found. So I can do 180 minus the 148. Which gets me, what? 32. And then finally I want to find BDC, which is this whole part. So how can I find that? Okay. I can do 360 minus 148, and 148 is, since these two angles were congruent, it's also the arc length of BC. I could have also done on this problem 180 plus the 32. So 360 minus the 148 gets me 212. Anyone still need this setup? So this one wants me to start off by finding x. My two arcs make a straight line. So I'm going to add these together and set equal to 180. So I have 5x plus 17x, gives me 22x. Then I have 23 minus 41, which will give me negative 18. And this still equals 180. Then I want to go ahead and add 18 to both sides. So I get 22x equals, what's 18 plus 180? 198. Then I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 22. So the first arc it wants me to find the measure of is JK. So I know the value of x, so I can go ahead and plug into the expression. I'm going to have 5 times 9, because x was 9, and then plus 23. So what is 5 times 9? 45. And 45 plus 23 is 68. Okay, then it wants me to find the measure of MJ. So this one makes a straight line with MK and JK. So I can do 180 and then subtract that angle I just found, the 68. (180 minus 68 gets me 112. The final angle it wants me to find is LMK, or arc. LMK. So, how can I find this? Two ways I can do this one. Okay, I can do 360 minus 112. This is because this angle was 112, and this one is vertical angles with it, so I would subtract that. The other way I could have done this is I could have done, since the pink line makes a straight line, I could have done 180 and then plus the 68 that I had for JK. So 360 minus 112 gets me 248. Number 9. I actually know all of my arc lengths. So I have the 3 written on the outside, and then because this one has a 90 or has a square, that means it is 90. So I can go ahead and add up all of these to equal 360. No, that was minus 12. Okay, so I can combine like terms. I'm going to do my x's first. So I have 8x, 21x, and 10x. So 8 plus 21 is 29, plus 10 is 39. Then I have 90 minus 12. Okay. 78 plus 9. 87 still equals 360. So then I want to go ahead and subtract 87 on both sides. I get 39x on my left and 360 minus 87, 273. Then I want to divide both sides by 39. Seven. So the first arc it wants me to find is WX. It's this one right here. So I'm going to plug into the 21 minus 12. What is 21 times 7? 147. And 147 minus 12? 135. Okay. The next one I have is YW. So how would I find YW? No, because these aren't vertical angles, so I can't quite do that. Any other ideas? Almost. Just the 90 plus the 8x, because I just want that pink part. So instead of x, I'm going to plug in 7. Eight times 7 is 56. And then 90 plus 56 is 146. Okay. Then I want to find yx. So how can I find yx? Yep, 10 times 7 plus 9. Ten times 7 is, and 70 plus 9. My final angle I need to find is VXW, or arc. So this is this one. Everything except for VW. So what do you guys want me to do here? No. So I know everything except for the 8x. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do 360 minus 8 times 7. I could have also, I know that this one's 90. I know the value of yx and wx. I could have added those three together. So 8 times 7 is 56, and 360 minus 56 is 304. So there is no assignment for today on this. On Monday, I'll have you guys work on the assignment in class.